If you're watching on over the air, cable, online, and oh please, those doggone mobile phones. This is the place you want to be. This is the LMS show. We got some exciting guests come up in the next half hour. And if you watch it like on online, you'll be getting a couple of minutes of it because they format everything. You heard Johnny Tillison singing "Jump Back, Trembling Lips." Oh man, when the last time you heard that song? LMS, we dig them up. We go in the gold mine. We really be digging them up. Later on, we have at the end of the program we have a gentleman who was born in South Carolina. Had a lot of hit records. Radio Night in Georgia. It's a matter of time. But the funny thing, of all the records that he made, this was one of my favorite ones. Later on, at the end of the program, you'll be hearing the great Brooke Benton singing the Boll Weevil song. Looking for a home. Gotta have a home. They don't make them like that no more. I don't want to tell you what they made. I went to buy a barbershop the other day, and I said, and they have all this crazy stuff in it. I said, I ain't going in that barbershop with all that noise. Shoot, well, I guess I should track them in there, but I'm too old for all that. On that note, in a few minutes, we'll have our very first guest. Gentleman, we could say pioneer, cameraman. He went to the same school I went to too, I'm gonna think of it. He's gonna share his photography, his his words of wisdom. Zach Lewis is coming up next, right here on the LMS show, and take it down.
Talk back, shaking legs, don't just stand there. Don't let her know that she's getting through to you.
Met this young brother up here at Sisters. I'm gonna think of it. We're not advertising, but we met up at Sisters. Pioneer cameraman. As far as as soul folks is concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Zach Lewis, everybody.
Thank you.
Zach Lewis, how you doing?
I'm blessed, my brother. How about you?
Oh, I'm blessed too.
I'm glad you're here, man, to help bring on the inspiration and the conversation about how we can increase the awareness and creativity of the Uptown Sisters bookstore. And also, I'm thankful that you're here to help motivate that and perpetuate that.
Well, I believe in institutions, Zach.
Yes, I know.
I really believe in institutions. I believe we got to save our institutions.
Very important.
Very important. We don't save it, don't depend on somebody else to do it for you.
Yes.
We depend on people. People say, oh, we got the president in. Don't depend on him.
That's right.
I'm not gonna get into politics. I'll say off the stage what I really want to say.
Yes.
But you got to depend on yourself. And that's the whole thing.
It's imperative that we support institutions like the Uptown Sisters Bookstore. And I'd like to give a shout out to Jennifer for what she's doing in terms of increasing the community awareness and giving her unsupported, undivided attention in terms of giving people awareness and showing what a cultural history that we have in terms of her books and also the entertainment that she offers here. It's amazing.
We met at I believe Steve Hike has the smoothies night.
Yes, right.
Okay.
Right. I just support you.
How did you connect with Jennifer?
Well, I was inspired by the fact that I used to live in this neighborhood a long time ago, and I was inspired by the fact that this is a beacon on a hill. You know what I mean? There's not many places you can come right now and get the solitude.
We're not advertising, folks, but go ahead.
And I like to say that whenever you can, come by here and support her because she needs your support, and we have to. It's incumbent upon us to do that.
Even if you just come in and say hi.
Yeah, exactly.
That's support. Okay. We got to go on public access, and people say, what are you doing there?
Yeah, right.
You're a photographer.
Yes.
How'd you get involved with photography?
Well, it happened a while ago. I used to work at NBC. A guy named I can't remember his name. He said, Zach. He says you need to get into this. And another guy named Bill Perez says, Zach. He says, because I was shooting a lot of just shots at that time. He said, Zach, you just keep shooting. You just have a whole bunch of a drawer full of pictures. And then he said something very important. He said, you're a link in the chain. And that's when I began to document Harlem and Spanish Harlem, because at that time the media wasn't covering things up here. This was back in the 70s when a lot of the houses were dilapidated and everybody was upset by what was going on. And so I said, let me get out here and do my thing, and that's what I did. And I'm so happy I did that, because now it's paying off.
Well, and now everybody's up here.
Everybody. and their grandma.
And literally, let me say, their grandma, they're going to be up here now after a hurricane.
Yeah. We're blessed. We're blessed. Those of us that experienced that, we're blessed. Really.
The pictures, what kind of pictures you take?
Well, I have several formats. I shoot fashion, I documented Harlem and Spanish Harlem since 1981, from 1981 to 1991. But I do a variety of different shots, but I was more attracted to documenting Harlem because of the fact that, everything was spontaneous. Nobody posed. You had to go out there and grab the shot. And it was more lively. It was more of a realization to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And also, when I started making my own, I started reading a lot about Ansel Adams. I remember he used to say, composition was the strongest way of seeing. Mm-hmm. So, when you go to movies, you see a frame. A movie's 24 frames a second, go right by you. So when you look at a picture, you have to study it. You have to take the time and analyze it, and see what the person's trying to do. So I like that, and also I like the philosophy that he says. He quotes Alfred Stieglitz. He says, if you wait for something here, you might be missing something there. And he says, there's nothing worse than a clear image and a fuzzy concept. You see? So it's nothing like seeing something and understanding it than seeing something not understanding it. So compositions is a very important thing with me. That's why I like still photography.
You like still photography? What do you think, black and white, color?
Yeah, well, black and white gives me the aesthetic.
There's something about black and white that because we have the shows on we see on YouTube and other online outlets. Yeah. And I remember the other day we did, I think Orlando put something up there, and it was like on a black and white type of frame, and it was it was different. Yes. I'll say this, like I remember a TV show, unplugging TV shows. Okay. Andy Griffin, and I don't know, I know the color one was all right, but I always liked, for some strange reason, I always liked it when it was in black and white.
Well, you know what, Lenny, they both have a role to play. You take color, for instance.
Not colorization, not that throwing that black and white into color. I don't go for that. Well, I throw that out the door.
If you see a red rose and everything around it is gray, then color has a role to play there. Well, see, when you see everything in black and white, it's aesthetic. So everything is important, not just the red rose. That's the difference in using color in black and white.
Because I remember I was watching, I think, A Place in the Sun with Elizabeth Taylor and Cliff, and black and white. It kept me really focused.
The story.
It really kept, and I followed the story. Right. I was watching it on my DVD.
Right. Black and white movies are very powerful.
Yeah. Oh,
it keeps you grounded to what's going on. You're not looking at the red shoes, you know what I'm saying?
How about movies today? What's your opinion about movies today?
I don't call them movies anymore. I just call them sick. I don't know what you would call them really, because it's like they happen so fast and you don't have no gravitation of where it's going. It's like I don't give it much credit. I don't go to many movies anymore. I'm sorry to say. Although they're doing it, a lot of movies coming out, but I don't find it entertaining anymore. Because it has no story. It has no storyline for me. It doesn't have any continuity.
I find out, like on television, a lot of the that's quote unquote situation comedies. It's just, I don't know. It's mindless.
Yes.
And then like I was watching. I watch I'm being old fashioned, but I'm gonna be old fashioned right now. Andy Griffin or Leave It to Beaver, or even to a certain extent, Amen to Andy, when they were on television.
Yeah, it's more creativity, because now when you go see a digital movie, there's no storyline for me. It doesn't have any continuity.
I find out, like on television, a lot of the that's quote unquote situation comedies. It's just, I don't know. It's mindless.
Yes.
And then like even I was watching. I watch I'm being old fashioned, but I'm gonna be old fashioned right now. Andy Griffin or Leave It to Beaver, or even to a certain extent, Amen to Andy, when they were on television.
Yeah, it's more creativity, because now when you go see a digital movie, and that's what most of them are, you see all this, a lot of noise and a lot of things flashing by you, and it's a lot of bells and whistles.
I like special effects, Zach, but I think that they overdo it.
Exactly.
Because I sat back and do it, and I was going, I can't see the main feature. Exactly. And they sat back and all this, oh, for heaven's sake, give me a break. Give me a break.
Just for the story.
Where's the story? Like you said, where's the story?
Exactly. That's why I chose still photography to help me in terms of expressing myself, because it's a composition and study. you know, so that's why I chose still photography, and I like doing it for that reason mainly. But also to document things that others don't document.
Because, you know, in fact, when we, we do the extra show online, well, one day you came in and said you filmed it was African Day Parade.
Yes.
And I said, well, heck, that's a good idea. You know, when we started going online, we start doing, we put some of the shows online.
Yes.
And, some shows you won't see online, you won't see it on cable.
Yes.
People say, well, what is it, adult? It's not all adults, it's something you gotta go see there. Some things you're not gonna see, period.
That's true. That's true.
And I like, what's your advice to young people?
I would say if you're interested in expressing yourself, find something that you really want to do in life. Don't waste your time, and don't never tell yourself no. Let somebody else tell you no. And believe in yourself, and have faith, Imani. You gotta have that. So if you're gonna pursue the arts, then find a way to express yourself. And arts are very important for young people, especially in schools nowadays. They take away a lot of art.
They took away gym. They wonder why they're so fat, and they sit back in and they hit that candy bar, and hit that soda bar and all that kind of buy soda because they don't exercise. I remember like these.
Yeah.
I mean, when I went to I go again, being old fashioned. Yeah, right. But we used to sit back here. In order for you to sit back here and graduate, they want you to bring a dental note in. People say, well, look, you don't have your teeth will be rotten out when you're young. I tell you that.
Well, the thing is the young kids nowadays. I mean, you remember back in the '80s, and they used to do a lot of graffiti on the trains and everything.
Yeah.
Well, that was a form of expression. Yeah. They were trying to make a statement, and the society wasn't listening to them. So they got out there and they got a piece of spray paint and they went bananas.
Yeah.
But it was still art.
Yes.
It was still art, and that's the thing. You can see the creativity in those kids even then.
Yes.
So we have to provide a platform for them to express themselves.
Yeah. Well, I'm always for young people.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
I sometimes blame the old heads because sometimes they're not teaching them anything.
Well, we become complacent a lot of times. We say, well, I did my thing. Now it's up to you to find your way.
No, that's true. Well, you shouldn't do that. No. We shouldn't do that. On that note, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure being here
on the LMS show. And in a few, we got another guest, young lady who I met. Where did I meet her? Oh, I met her in Medgar Evers College in Brooklyn at the Delta Sorority. Delta Sorority had a little book fair, had a little article on these little newspapers. I said, I ain't doing nothing. Let me go ahead and reign and check it out. Labor Day, Mom, in Brooklyn.
Thanks for having me on.
Joyce Anderson coming up. Thank you, Zach. LMS. Sisters,